Hey everyone, welcome back to TechSamadhan. In the last video, we talked about variables, and today we will deep dive there into data types. As we have seen in the last video about the data types, like how we should know different types of data types. There, I introduced only two data types, which was necessary at that time, that were integer and the float. So, data types defines what kind of data we are working with, like numbers, text, true or false values. So understanding data type is super important because it helps Python know how to process and store information. So moving forward, so first question would arise, what, so they are every piece of data in Python has a type, right? Whether it's number, a word, or even just simple true or false. Python needs to know what it is so it can handle it correctly. So let's explore the most common data types you will use in Python. So whether, number, now this number, text or true or false, they are associated with some of the type and Python needs to know what are those type assigned to. So common data types, the first one is integer. This is the multi-line comment, okay? So the first data type is integer. So integer represent whole number, numbers without decimal. So remember whole number, number without decimal. So we'll see a program as well for integer. Now what is age? Age is number, right? And it is basically whole number. Suppose age is 14. We will not write it in the comment section. Suppose age is 14. Then if we did print age, and as from three videos you know it will print 14. Now we need to know what is the 14, like 14 type. 14 is data. It gets stored in variable age. But we need to know what is its type. So what we'll do, print, we will use the type function to know the type of our variable, like what type our variable is storing data. So I will extend it and I will run the program. Now here it is int type. So you understood like why it is necessary to understand data types. So here age is integer, and when we use type of age, Python tells us it's an integer. So moving forward, second would be the float. So float represent number with decimals like pi, which is 3.14. So basically it will represent numbers with decimal. Now if this is 1.4, I know it is not 1.4, but for example you can see. And if we run it, the class is float. It changed. Also keep in mind that we can assign anything to a variable, okay? Like for example, age would not only store 26. If we write 24, it will also store 24. Any number with decimal point is float in Python. The third data type would be for text, which is string. In the first video, we saw anything under the quotation is a fancy word for a text, which is string. So strings are used for text data. So str is would be short form. So they are used for text data. Anything inside single or double quote is considered as a string. So from the first video we have understood what string is, but here we'll understood more in-depth concept. So the name is ABC. You understood? We have it written in the double quotation mark or single quotation, and we will use variable greeting. In single quotation also, it's string. We have did it in the first example, the first program, Hello World. Hope you remember. We'll print name and print type of name. So what would it be? It would be string. So see, class is string for the name ABC. So even if string looks like number, like in under the quotation, if we write 1, 2, 3, it will still treat it as a text. We can't perform the mathematical operation on it unless we convert it. So what I am saying is, if we have a number under this quotation mark, then it's no more a mathematical number. It would be a text, and we can't process any mathematical operation on it. See, it would be then string, and there is a concept where we can typecast, so where we can change the data type. So it's in-depth concept we will see in the future videos. For now onwards, any text data is string. Then boolean would be true or false. True or false is boolean. So boolean represent one of two values, true or false. Super useful when we start making decision in our code. So the next video would be of condition statement. So there it would be useful. The boolean. For example, we can see each student is equals to true. Has graduated is equals to false. Okay. We will print will print its, and also similarly we'll print the type for the is student variable, and we will run it. You can see is student graduated true, and the type for its student variable is bool, which is nothing but boolean. It is not easily understood in this example, but in the conditional statement, it are like decision makers for any programming language. So they are important when we start using if else statement, which are nothing but the conditional statement. Now, as I told you, typecasting. Hope you remember, like number under the quotation are not more anymore treated as mathematical numbers, and if you want to do mathematical operation, we need to convert their types. So that is typecast, type conversion. So type conversion, or it can be also seen as casting data type. Okay. For example, number string. Now in the quotation, any number is treated as string. Now we require to do some mathematical operation here. So converting a string into an integer. So number, how can we do it? So here we will first specify int. The type would be int. Now convertible to int, you can read it. Convert a number or a string to integer or return 0 if no arguments are given. You can read it here. Okay, so type is int, and what we need to convert is this number string variable we need to convert to integer. We need to convert to integer, so we will do here print number int, and what we will see the type of num int. Now we will see type of num int. So type of num int now changes to integer. Now if we want to confirm what is the type of num string, that can also be done here. Print num string, comma, type of num string. First we assigned it to a under the quotation, so it would be a string. Then we typecasted it to integer, so then it would be a, see, first it would be integer, then string, because we assigned the number to a string. Then we did typecasting here. This is the syntax, int and the variable you want to convert, like type and the variable. Then we printed the first. Now num int store which type of data. So it stores integer and it stores string. If we require to typecast it to a float, that can also be done. So float is nothing but decimal. So first is the type and num int we will do. Here we will convert integer to float now. We want to print and type of num float we want to check. You can see it here. See, now the first two, and now see, we are converted into here. So remember the simple syntax whenever we need to convert or typecast anything, it's nothing but type and the variable which has stored that data. Similarly, we added data type is float, variable is num int. So here we converted the string 100 to an integer using int, and then to a float using float. So it is useful when taking user input, since input is always read as string. In the last video we understood about user input. There are some additional special data types which are only there for Python. So I can show you them, how some additional data type only in the Python. There you can list, it's new. So list is nothing but an ordered collection of items, like for example a grocery item. So it is an ordered collection of item, milk, bread, anything. That is list. Or a number, like for example number, and list is written in this square bracket like this. So number 1, 2, 3. So these are the ordered. One of number 2 comes after 1, number 3 comes after 2. So we can't write it anyhow. Unordered is not allowed in list. Keep in mind list, order collection. Sorry, I forgot to print. We'll print the type of number. So it is in the class list. So list is nothing but order collection inside the square bracket. Unorder is not allowed here. Now second is tuple. So it is similar to list, but one thing, it is immutable. Now this word seems different to you all. So immutable is nothing but we can't change. Once assigned, we can't change. Okay. So coordinates, for example, we can see coordinates given as some 10, 20. Okay. Now we need to print the type of coordinates. So similar to list, but we can't change the coordinates. So class is tuple. So list is order collection and tuple is similar to list, but it is immutable, so we can't change. Hope you understood what data type is. And one thing would arise that if tuple is similar to list but it can't be changed, is list is immutable or mutable? So straightforward, list are mutable. Like we can change. You can change the order of item in a list and reassign an item in a list. You can append new elements to a list or remove it. So there are different functions to do it, but for now, lists are mutable and tuples are immutable, which means that once a tuple is created, its content cannot be changed, can't change. And list is mutable. We can change it, we can add it anywhere we want. So, and that's it. Now you know the most important data types in Python. Take a note of it. Integer, float, strings, boolean. How to convert them, typecasting we know now. So next video we will understand the conditional statement, so you would understand what boolean is. So there would be one challenge from my side. I will post its answer in comment section. So try creating a variable of each data type. An integer for your age, float for height, string for your name, and a boolean to indicate if you are a student. We know print function, use it. We know type function, display them. Share your results in comments. Don't mix up data types. And don't forget to convert user input to integer. Or we can discuss the answer in the next video or in the comment section. So now it's your turn. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe.